What's good, family? It's Mango the Ultimate, and we're here to answer some questions with Sounds of the Future.
Is that 508?
Yeah. No, I'm back in this shit. I'm just back in this shit. I'm back in this shit. I'm just back in this shit. Whoa. No, I'm back in this shit. I'm back in this shit. I'm back in this shit. Yeah.
What's up? It's Nolan back with another episode of Sounds of the Future TV. Who am I here with today?
Mango the Ultimate.
Thank you so much for joining us, bro. So I want to go back to when you first started making music. What really influenced you to pursue a career in it?
I think it was during a really confusing time in my life. I was like a teenager, and I was like smoking so much weed at the time, and I was listening to like a lot of Born Sinner and like To Pimp a Butterfly and 2014 Forest Hills Drive. I was going through like a heartbreak. I was in such a weird place, especially because I moved around a lot as a kid. So I think it was the abundance of raw, authentic, like modern hip hop that was still around at the time. Because now there's just so many, and it's so hard to like keep a track of all the artists that are coming out. But at the time when I was 15, 16, it was just like Odd Future, Pro Era, Isaiah Rashad. It was like Dreamville and TDE.
ASAP Mob too.
Yeah, ASAP Mob too.
Yeah.
They specifically had like a more visual and aesthetic influence on me.
Yeah.
And a majority of the other artists that I mentioned had like the actual like written and sonic and like flow and like just taught me how to put substance to paper and make it sound good. But yeah, ASAP Mob too had a big influence on my artistry.
So I want to talk about, we don't got to dive too deep into it, but you mentioned how a lot of what influenced you to pursue a career was those low points in your life that, experiencing heartbreak and, you're smoking a lot and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So how was it kind of overcoming that type of stuff? Do you feel like music gave you an outlet to really express your like true feelings and stuff like that?
An outlet? At first it was an outlet, and it was more pure. And then over time, whether or not, I think specifically like if you get good and you start to gain notoriety and people start looking at you as like, he's a rapper and he's really good at it, and that's all you are, I think then it starts to lean towards more like ego, and you want to become the best version of what people think you are. And it starts going towards like the toxic side. But I think the biggest part of me personally, I can't speak for everybody as an artist, but it was learning how to like kill that side of myself that like let it get too far. Because I'm formerly known as Mango the Only, and then I ended up deleting everything and restarting, not just because of spiritual reasons, but because of mental health reasons. And I'm trying to reinvent myself. But in terms of the smoking and the heartbreak and all the traumatic shit, and there's more shit than that, but in terms of those specifically, I think that smoking and doing drugs and just exploring and adventuring and being a dumbass, like as a teenager, I think it had a big part in me growing as an artist and finding my sound. I don't really like it too much looking back, but it definitely had a big part of who I am now, in terms of like, I needed to experience things. And I personally don't think people need to experience things to learn things. I think if you have, great upbringing and you're good at listening, I think you're better off learning that way. But for some people, they might just have to learn the hard way. And in my case, that's what it was. So I think that getting out of those lifestyle, like I'm about to be sober from marijuana in June for a year. It's like my first year completely away from weed. And I'm gonna tell you right now, like it had the biggest influence on me creatively. Like it challenged me because the trauma and pain and the weed and the girls and all that shit and the partying, that was where I was creating from. And so when you get rid of that, there's like nothing to create from. And so now you gotta be like, wait, was it my talent, or was that the reason why I was creating, or do I genuinely love this shit? Do I still have an authentic like heart for this? And so I guess regarding all that bullshit that I had to deal with, I think it did have a huge influence on who I am now.
So not to be like super like anti-weed, but sometimes people downplay the actual effects of it and, what it could actually do to your mental and like how reliant people become on it because of how like accessible it is now.
Yeah.
But just to speak on the music industry as a whole, obviously, is kind of normalized in that sense, and just drugs in general. Are really prevalent in the industry, and that's a lot of the subject matter of music too. Do you ever feel like it's hard to get out of that space of trying to better your life and want better for yourself while also being immersed in such a space that has it's pretty much so accessible and talked about?
I think it's really hard when you try to do it alone. Like, I've had my moments where it doesn't just have to be with weed. It could be with cheating on someone. It could be with getting drunk, blackout drunk or some shit. It could be with getting into a fight. It could be with any dark part of yourself that you've been trying to kill, and then something triggers it because you went to some place or you went to someone or you're around the wrong people that you shouldn't be around. I think we all have that. We all have some type of whatever the fuck it is. And it is hard. It is hard because on one side, you want to be somebody that's so strong-willed that you could be with anybody and work with anybody. And I think in that particular area of my life, I think it's something that you can train like a muscle. You can do that. But I think more often than not, you can't do it alone. Not the way that you intend. Because there's been moments where I've tried to not, give into certain things, but I have, and I'm like, yo, why am I doing this shit alone? I need help. And then one thing leads to another, and you end up I gave a lot of my time to finding out the truth about life and doing acid and opening my third eye and shit, especially during a time where I was super into Joey Badass and shit. And I'm a very obsessed type of person. If I really find something interesting, I'll go down the rabbit hole no matter what it is. It could be something so stupid like cooking or freaking, some visual artist documentary. I'll just go down a loophole, a rabbit hole, sorry. But for the space, I think it is really hard to do it alone. It's hard to want to stop certain things, but then you have an opportunity, and the opportunity comes with oh, you're going to the studio with so-and-so, but they're probably going to be smoking, and this person might be there, and what if they offer you, something, and you got to be no, and then what if I miss out on an opportunity because I didn't want to smoke with somebody, or I didn't want to fuck this girl, or I didn't want to, say something, deny your faith or something, because I'm a believer in God, I'm a Christian, and I know a lot of people have really traumatic backgrounds with the church, just like myself, but I think once I accepted that, there are times in life where you realize, yo, I'm not in control. I can't do shit right now. I hate my life. I hate everything. I can't create. I can't, get out of bed. Whether it be a heartbreak or family issues, or you just don't know. Because sometimes, bro, you just wake up and you're yo, why do I feel like this today? And you get tight. You're you're mad. You're you hate yourself. Why do I feel so pathetic right now? What am I doing? And I think God for me was just this big, fuck you to the pathetic side of me that wanted to quit everything. Because I think there's a lot of people, whether I like it or not, that look up to you and that are expecting the best from you. And so for me, it was just a combination of people loving me, people surrounding me when I didn't deserve it. And that's what kind of helps me. That right there is what helps me to stay grounded with my faith, with my relationships, with my sobriety, because it is hard. It is hard to be in the space but want to do better. But I'm not gonna say it gets easier, because for a specific type of person, you might be growing and you might be getting clout and you might be surrounding yourself with these things, and it might get harder. So it's not that it gets easier, but you get stronger. I would say that. So yeah, it is hard, but you get stronger along the way, and you have to be malleable. You have to be a sponge, because if you just act mad tough, you could do anything, you're gonna white knuckle everything, you're just gonna roll with the punches, bro, you will burn out and you will give in to some type of temptation. It is really hard. So yeah.
So in that talk, you mentioned that you're experimenting with, or were experimenting with psychedelics and stuff like that. And, a lot of people, just based on my own knowledge, have, learned about the profound experiences and, learned a lot about the self and just about, their faith in general. And also, while you were speaking, you mentioned how you have a real faith in God. You feel like you know, those experiences kind of reinforced your idea of your faith and also just like who you are as a person in general?
Yes, but it was in like a dark, messed up way, because I did acid like 3 times and then like shrooms like 2 or 3 times after that, and it was fine. But every single time I tried psychs after that, bro, it was like the nightmare trips. Like, they were terrible trips. Like, my ego already died. Like, how many times can an ego die, bro? Like, imagine you're on like your 5th ego death. Like, that shit is just terrible, because at that point you don't even have an ego. It's just you and your freaking sack of meat you call a body and your freaking bones, and it's just like your soul is just rotting. So what I learned about myself is literally that I'm a speck of dust on a flying rock in the middle of space in this vast ass universe, and nobody knows anything about anything, and we're all like really hateful. We're like if you thought about the average human, you like and you left them alone with their thoughts, and you put a microphone to their thoughts, bro, I'm telling you right now, nobody's going to heaven. Like, bro, we are disgusting parasitic creatures. And that thought right there is something that I realized when I had my bad trips. I was like, yo, what am I doing with my life? Like, I feel so pathetic. And the only thing that ever stood out to me, like in a positive light after like I had my good moments, was like music and art, and just thinking about how important my family was. Like, that's the stuff that kept me grounded. And I think, I think the suffering and bad, like traumatic memories I have, whether it be with the psychedelics or bad decisions I've made, I learned most from those. It sucks to say, but like the bad memories I have, those remind me like, oh, I'm mortal. Like, I'm gonna die one day. Like, nothing matters. Like, you know what I mean? So I think for me personally, I did learn a lot about myself. Would I suggest people do it? No. But if they have, I think a lot of people would agree. Like, there's a lot of people that found faith through psychedelics, and it's kind of weird because for me, I've been both enabled by drugs and humbled by drugs. Yeah. It's kind of like, it's not a healthy relationship. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
So to build more on that idea too, you know, like we said, it's a real profound experience. And do you feel like, you know, kind of that realization of realizing that you kind of are nothing in the grand scheme of things has affected your life in the sense of you may not feel compelled to work as hard or, you know, chase these dreams because, you know, at the end of the day, it might not mean anything to, I guess, depending on your perspective?
Yeah, so if you constantly, like, we could sit here and say, yeah, nothing matters, so I'm gonna just like not do anything. But then, like, what's stopping you from like shooting up a building or like going to do some crazy shit or freaking throwing an old lady into the subway tracks? Like, so you kind of have to like get to this point where, yeah, nothing matters, but like I could try. Like, I think that's what God does in my life. He's like, it's not that you don't matter or nothing matters. It's just that the more you do, the more you realize I'm not happy or joyful because of the things I do. Like, you get, like, everyone gets to this certain point of success, whether it be with their 9 to 5 or with their job, like their dream, their passion. They got all these girls, all these women. They finally get the happy, like, you know, like the classic American dream, like start a family, get a dog, have kids, whatever, have your own career. And then you're there and then you cheat on your wife. It's like, why would you cheat on your wife if you have everything? Oh, so having everything doesn't lead you to feeling fulfilled. So I had to learn, like, no matter how many songs I make, no matter how many girls look at me, no matter what relationship I'm in or how many family members I'm solid with, it just really comes down to, like, what is my purpose? Like, who am I? And for me, it's like, I get that from God, you know, I get that from Jesus Christ. I'm not perfect, and no Christian out there is perfect either, but for me, it's my faith that keeps me going, just because I don't deserve it. Like, I don't deserve God's love. The same way I don't deserve the love from my girlfriend or from my parents. I would say the fact that they still do things for me and still show up, that has me going like, what the fuck? Like, life is so messed up, but like, good things still happen. And you know what I mean? The same way, like, life will go good and then bad thing happens out of nowhere. And I've already been through the whole rabbit hole of like, yeah, like, that's facts. Like, nothing matters. But at the same time, if you stay there, you're kind of like fulfilling that nihilistic mindset and you become a nihilist. And I've been there. And it's a really dark place because then you just start becoming like a consumer. Like you eat everything. You just eat everybody around you, meaning like you milk them dry, you use them for whatever. You start obsessing over what people say or think about you, or you start bad habits because it just doesn't matter. And you're just like, yeah, I don't think nihilism is for the human soul. I don't think we're designed to be that way. So although, you know, money and sex and drugs and like pleasure, it all comes to an end. So although that doesn't matter and life comes to an end, so in a sense, there are a lot of things in life that don't matter. I think life is worth a try. I think art is beautiful, and I think I do have a purpose, and God is the reason why I'm here. So as long as he says you're good, keep on living, like do good things, then I'm gonna be good and do good and live and keep on doing the good things, you know what I mean? So yeah, it comes to a certain point where you're like, man, life is shit, but I'm done living like life is shit. You kind of gotta set the table. You kind of gotta erase the board. You gotta swipe the dust off your feet and try new things. You know, you gotta talk to people, communicate, make friends. Like, you just gotta try, bro.
While you were talking, you mentioned purpose too. So do you feel like, to shift now back into your music, you feel like music is your purpose in life, or you feel like you have a bigger plan? I don't think music is my purpose. I think serving people is my purpose. I think building communities, being responsible for people and serving people. I think my purpose here on earth is to serve people, and music, starting a family, you know, linking up with your homeboy and just taking care of them, whatever they're going through, calling your mom. Like, I think that music can lead to all those things. So like cooking for somebody, that can lead to like serving someone. Like, you can make somebody's day. Like, I used to work, like one of my 9-to-5 jobs that I had was like Quick Check in Jersey. It's like the sandwich deli place that you could get lottery tickets and candy. There's also Wawa. It's like, I don't know, do you have Wawa from where you're from? Nah. What about Quick Check? Nah, but I know what Wawa is.
Yeah, it's like one of those gas station stores you stop by on the highway type shit. And I've seen so many people, you know, just like NPCs just walk in, grab the sandwich, all right, and just leave. But I've also seen people really excited to receive something I made for them. I've also worked as a barista at Starbucks. I worked at Jamba Juice. Like, I've never seen so many people so happy just for food. And for me, it's like, bro, you're happy just for eating a sandwich? Like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's something I'm doing wrong, because I want to get to the point where, you know, I don't have to smoke, or I don't have to get a text from my crush, or I don't have to do good in school for me to just be happy to eat a sandwich. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there are people that have a bad day and then eating food is just like, you know, everything is erased and I'm happy. And so I realized, like, my purpose might just be to serve and to, you know, be a part of a community bigger than myself. Because if it stops at music, then what happens if I can't write a song for a month? What happens if I burn out, or like the world is ending and there's no internet? Then I lost my purpose. You know, you kind of have to, it comes to a point where I feel like for me, I had to grow out of that mindset that like, I think music is a part of my purpose, but it's not the purpose in my life. It's not who I am. You know, the last thing I want is for people to look at my face and not see past like one particular song, you know. And if they do, that's cool, because like myself, like, I just be scrolling and I don't do too much research. But it'd be nice to have people look at you like they look at like Kanye, or how they look at, you know, Shia LaBeouf, or I don't know, right now Kai Cenat is getting mad hate for trying fashion, bro. And I feel it. Like, it looks funny, but the same people hating on you for trying new things and getting out of your box, those are the same people that have nothing going for them, and they're miserable, and they never had that in them. They never had the spark to go out and try something new. So I think my purpose music is a big part of my purpose, you know, because it falls in the line of art in that category. But in terms of my true purpose, it is to serve people and to lead them to God and to just glorify God with everything that I am. Even the shitty parts of my life, even like the darkness in me, like God created me. So like, I'm here to show you like, oh, I believe in God. I'm not perfect, but he still loves me no matter what you say. And if he loves me, he loves you. And yeah, there's a lot of bullshit I've been through, but you know, I still know that like I'm gonna die one day and we're all gonna die one day. And I'm gonna just serve while I'm at it. Like I'm gonna just create art, have fun, and try to, you know, lead people to follow my path in terms of, yo, serve people with me. Like, let's do something for the community. So yeah, I think my purpose is to serve.
So do you feel like, you know, I want to talk about legacy a little bit too, but we obviously, we mentioned, you know, we're all going to die one day, but would you want to be remembered in a certain way, or do you feel like there's too much ego in, you know, memory?
I want to be remembered as like a brother, as like a dork who just made music and, you know, had normal problems like everybody else. I want people to look at the cool shit I've done and be like, yo, that's cool. But at the same time, I want people to mimic me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not talking about like the toxic shit, like picking up smoking weed or like trying psychs and, you know, having sex with different women. I'm not talking about that. You know, I'm talking about trying new things and, you know, forgiving your father, you know, going sober, you know, if you're gonna get into a relationship, find one woman, get married type shit. Like, you know, find out who God is. I don't know if like anyone out there, if you're spiritual, if you have weird encounters, if you have sleep paralysis, like if you're into aliens and shit, like use that energy to like search up the truth. Like do your research, like who is Jesus Christ type shit. I would say also, bro, find new hobbies, like write a book, doodle in your notebooks, like do some shit. You know, if you really love something, I think it's your best interest to just put your whole heart into it. And you'd be surprised what would happen in just a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, if you put your whole heart into something that you love doing. And there are gonna be people that doubt you, but I think those are the same people that need to do the same searching that you are, because, you know, although there's a lot of hate and shit, I think that, you know, it'd be nice to be remembered for trying new things, being multifaceted, being multimedia artists. Like, more than anything, I want to be remembered for being funny, at least. Like, you know, like I don't really care about the music. I told my engineer from my hometown, like my boy Ryan Trill, he's an artist too, and I think he's fire. He's just like my closest friend. He's like my brother to me, and we've spent so much time in the studio, bro. We've gotten into so many heated arguments, debates, fights, and all we talk about is music, the culture. Like, we'll talk about anything, bro. And I even told him, like, delete all my music when I die. Like, if I die before you, like, delete all my music. Don't release anything. Because he has some crazy freaking cringe ass songs in that computer. But nah, like, I don't want to be remembered like some crazy artist. Oh, this guy, he was like Tupac. Like, you know how people be saying like, oh, he's like the Tupac. No, Tupac is Tupac. Like, I think you should let everybody be their own person. And it's maybe disrespectful, is crazy, but like when people say like, oh, X is like the new Tupac, it's like, he may have influenced them, but I don't think he's Tupac. Like, I'm pretty sure Tupac is Tupac, bro. I get what people mean. Yeah. Because they're like, oh, his influence is similar. But at the same time, a lot of things are more extreme now because of the influence we have with the digital age. You know, back then, record sales were documented by literal, like, record sales from the stores. Like, there was no digital downloads. Like, when Tupac was around, bro, you'd have to count how many CDs or DVDs or vinyls were sold at a specific store. And now it's just like, you could just download the shit, YouTube to MP3 on freaking YouTube, and you could have just duplicate free downloads and shit. So yeah, I want to be remembered for just being a normal ass dude, bro. Like, you know, just turn me into a meme, do some funny shit, do some cool shit. Like, I'm chill. Nothing crazy, bro. So yeah.
Bet. So I got 2 more questions for you now. I want to talk about any upcoming work or projects, shows, stuff you want to promote.
Shit. I just dropped Mango Dark 30 Deluxe, which is a deluxe version of Mango Dark 30. It's a compilation project. In terms of new music, I don't have anything too new. I have so many demos that I'm working on. But as of lately, with like the way I go about things creatively and just my day-to-day decisions, I'm in a relationship right now. And I'm just trying to be like the best boyfriend, because right now, it used to be just getting famous, you know, weed is about to be legalized. Just wait until I'm 21. Oh, you know, you're going to have all the girls you can. Yo, we're going to Tokyo. I lived in Tokyo for a year, and that was crazy. And over there, I would say that I really learned what I wanted, not just creatively, but I realized like, yo, I want to start a family one day. Like, I kind of want to be a leader of a household. So as of right now, there is no new music coming out. I'm kind of just capitalizing on marketing myself, my face, learning new things and being like the best boyfriend I can, and being a better brother, a better son. I'm kind of just like, I don't know what they call looks maxing and shit. Not looks maxing, bro. I want to do like hope maxing, like IQ maxing type shit. Like, I just want to be a better person, bro. I want to be a better person outside of the studio, outside of the stages. Like, I want to be just the greatest man I can be, so that when I do create art or I do record videos, I have some shit to say that people will sit down and actually like listen to, and they'll apply it to their lives. Like, I want to leave people with shit that, you know, will be eternal. You know, there's a lot of AI freaking slop coming out, bro. I don't know if you've seen that shit.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, like some of it is like so freaking funny, bro. Like I'll be watching the SpongeBob. It'll be like SpongeBob like getting caught by cops, and he's like, "Get away from me, officer!" And then he drives off and shit, bro. And me and my girlfriend would just be in bed, just dying of laughter watching that shit. But because of that, because of the AI slop and all this political shit and the freaking Jepstein bios and freaking all this bullshit, bro. Obama coming out and saying aliens are real. Bro, there's just so much input that I'm like, my brain is fried, because I'll sit down and I'll listen to it. Bro, I'll listen to a Joe Rogan podcast where he talks about fucking aliens, freaking niggas in the UFC. Like I'll really listen for like 4 hours and just lock in and just listen to that shit. So I have to be mindful and I have to be careful, because I get distracted easily, bro. And it's a gift and a curse, because if I get distracted by the right thing, I'll lock in. But if I get distracted by some dumb shit like that won't serve me this month or this year, like I really gotta lock in and be careful. But as of right now, no new music, but I am working. I'm always working on my craft, whether it be with school, whether it be with music, whether it be, you know, content, like visual content or a vlog. I definitely am working on my craft, but as of right now, there's no new music coming out.
So we asked the artists, you know, do you have any advice or just a lasting word you want to leave with the audience? Yes.
So I would say that you have to remember that there is a purpose to life. You will always, at some point in time, be accountable for making somebody's day better or worse. I would say that you will die one day, and that although you know, this passion, art shit, whatever you love doing, although it's not a race, you have to remember that laziness and doing nothing, it comes at a cost. So do some shit with your life, whether it be working for the government, becoming, you know, a police officer, learning the drums, lead singer, rapper, NFL, NBA. Do some shit and put your whole heart into it. Not because people are watching, but because people need you. You know, people that need you might be your biggest haters. And that's crazy to say, because I just turned 26 in February, but I learned that, you know, we might just be here to serve the people that hate us more than we are the people that already love us. Because it's easy to say I love you to somebody that loves you back, but try saying I'm sorry or I love you to somebody that hates you, bro. That's the hardest thing. So as for a last word, I would say learn how to forgive, work hard at your craft, don't give up, And remember that sexy is not a face, it's an attitude. So just keep your head up, lock in. 2026, we outside, it's Mango. And yeah, it's all love.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, bro. That is another episode of Sounds of Future TV. Appreciate you. Excited to see where you go in the future.
Yes,
All right, signing out.
Back in the field, back like I never left, ready to spill. Only got one shot, I go for the kill. Could've went platinum with thoughts like a drill, but I found a better way without a deal.